take 5. Now, before I demonstrate and show you how it goes, before we jump into the lesson and break it down lick by lick with tabs on the screen and everything, I just want to mention that I've made a small change to the arrangement. Chet Atkins plays this, okay, which is a bit more comfortable to play on guitar, but the original melody is this. Okay, so I just changed it back to the original melody. No disrespect to Chet Atkins, I just like to play as close to the original as possible. That's just my thing, my way of doing things. The rest is his arrangement, and it's an amazing arrangement. Let me show you how it goes. It goes like this. Okay, so as you've seen, this is a really tricky arrangement because the original composition is in 5/4 time. 5/4 time meaning that it's da 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 da. Okay, it's 5. You count to 5. That's why it's called Take 5, and that's why it's a classic, because it's really, really hard. You need to be a genius to write a melody in 5/4 time and have the rest of the world humming it, because odd time signature compositions tend to be very, very confusing for the ear. And that's the genius of Dave Brubeck and this composition. And that's why it's a classic. So, let's begin. This is an E minor. The original, I think, is an E flat minor, but Chet Atkins, of course, took it and made it into a guitar arrangement, so it's easier to play on E minor instead of E flat minor. You can tune the guitar a half step down if you want to be exact, but you begin on E minor. Okay? You just pick an open E minor twice. You don't have to fret anything, you just pick strings 1, 2, and 3 and the bass. So you pick bass, rest of the chord, bass, rest of the chord. Okay? And then B minor 7. B minor 7 being B minor barred on 7, and you just take the pinky off, so you have all 7s and 9 on the A string. So it's got 7 on the D string as well, and you pick, for a jazzy sound, you pick the bass notes. You pick the E string, and then strings A, G, and D. A, D, and G. Okay, so together it sounds like this. Okay, so it comes around 3 times. E minor, B minor 7, E minor, B minor 7, E minor, B minor 7, and then just E minor once. Okay, and then the melody. Now, the melody the chord underneath the melody is B minor 7, but the melody outlines an E minor chord, so that gives it an interesting sound. So you put on an E minor chord with a B bass. Okay, that's your shape, the finger shape, the finger position. You put on, it's not E minor over B. It's E minor over B minor 7. That's the context of the melody. So the bass note is B, and you outline the E minor chord, 7 on D, 9 on D, 9 on G, 8 on B. Okay, and this. The B octave, because this is a B note as well, the B octave is being played as a flam. It's played one right after another. Okay? And then the rest is this. Okay, it's pinky on 10 on the B string, then on 11 on the B string, along with an open E bass. You slide it to 12, so it's, and then 11, 10, pull off to 8. Okay, so, okay, that's the melody. The first lick of the melody. Okay, Chet Atkins leaves this note out, the B octave, and just plays this. Okay, you can play it if you want, but as I said, I like to stick to the original whenever possible. So, okay, so together with the chords, it sounds like this. Okay, and then B minor 7 again. And then this. Okay, this is where trouble ensues, and this becomes a genius arrangement, because Chet Atkins keeps the 5/4 going, the 5/4 chord picking going while playing the melody. So let's try to dissect it. You play this, both E strings, and then you need this. So you play strings 2 and 3, and then the E minor again, bass, rest of the strings. So E strings, 2 and 3, bass, rest of the strings. And then this. You bar the 7th fret and you pick strings 2 and 6, strings B and the E bass on B. So this is how it sounds at first, and then you hammer on 8 on the B string, and you pick it off. So you hammer on and pull it off. Okay? Okay, along with the B bass. And then you put on the 3rd finger and the pinky on 9 and 9 on the A string and the G string. Turning this into B7 sus4 shape. This is not the chord. The chord, of course, is B minor 7 with this melody. Okay, so it's not the chord. It's just the shape. So it's this. Okay, you put it on. You pick strings G, D, and A, strings 3, 4, and 5 on 9, 7, and 9. and then you pull the pinky off. Okay, from 9 to 7. And then this again. Okay, so together it sounds like this. Got it? Slower. So along with the melody. And then the concept is the same concept, but it goes down one string to the bass ear notes. And then it's this. Okay, it's this. So, again, you bar the 7 and you pick the B bass along with the G string, 3rd string, and you hammer on the 9 and pull it off with your pinky or with your 3rd finger, whichever is comfortable for you. Okay? And then you put on both 3rd finger and the pinky on 9 and 9 on the A and D strings, completing a B minor shape. Okay, B minor, regular B minor, and you pull off the pinky from the 9 to the 7 on the G string this time. Okay? No, the D. The D string. The G string was before. The D string. Okay? So, got it? And you pick strings A and D together, 9 and 9, and then you pull off the pinky. Okay, so... And then you play the E bass with the B string. And then Chet Atkins does something really nice. This. It's just a nice addition to the E minor chord, because this is E minor. So it just played with it a little. So B and E, and then 7 on the D string, 9 on the A string, and you pick strings A, D, and G because you picked the E bass already here, remember? So you pick this. Okay, 9, 7, and 0 on A, D, and G. And then you take this shape to 2 frets back to 5 and 7, and you pick the E bass and strings 5, 4, and 3 again. Okay? So together it sounds like this. And the whole thing, and then you play this again. Okay? Now remember this, we're gonna call this lick A. And we're gonna call this lick B. Okay? You'll see why in a minute. Let me just play everything from the top so you can hear how it goes. Lick A, lick B, then lick A again. Okay? Now, second time around, you play the melody. And then you just reverse the licks. You play lick B, lick A, lick B. Got it? That's why we call it lick A and lick B, because you don't have to relearn it, you just have to reverse it. That's the whole thing, the whole A part. Okay, so you pick the melody. Actually, first you pick the chords, then the melody line along with lick A, B, A, then the melody again, then B, A, B. Okay? I hope you're following up till now, because now comes the B part. The B part, played slowly, goes like this. Okay, let's, I'll play it and I'll read out the bass notes, because it's what's called a 2-5-1, a 2-5-1 sequence. It's a jazz cliche. It's a sequence of chords that lead into one another, because I don't want to get too much into theory here, but it uses the circle of fourths. The circle of fourths is a formula to lead chords into another. Okay, so let's not get into it. Just if somebody asks you, what are you doing there? Just say, the circle of fourths. Or, I'm playing 2-5-1s. And then it'll sound like you know what you're doing. That's what I do. I don't really know what I'm doing. So the bass notes are A, D, G, E. Okay, from G to E, it's not a fourth, but the E leads back to A. So, and then D again, G, and then D again, but the D is within the G chord, so it harmonizes the G. I'm just explaining what's going on bass-wise. And then A again, D, G, E, A, and then D, then B. Okay? Now, this is Chad Atkins' arrangement. In the original, at the ending there's an F sharp minor sus4, so it's okay, and then it leads to B, because F sharp and B are 2-5 to E, because it's okay. Again, let's not get into it, but I'm leaving the F sharp out because, again, this is a guitar arrangement, and I've tried the F sharp minor 7 or B sus4 don't sound right on guitar, so let's leave it out. So if some kind of jazz artsy-fartsy guy or girl tell you there's a chord missing there, say, yeah, I know, the F sharp, yeah, but I don't want to play it, and that's it. If they give you trouble, walk away. So okay, let's begin. If you've noticed, these are arpeggios. This is an A minor arpeggio, then it's a G arpeggio, and then it's A minor arpeggio again, okay, and then so it's arpeggios, and then it's just arpeggios, chromatic click, arpeggio, chromatic click, arpeggio, chromatic click. Always try to see what you play, to understand what you're playing. If not, I'm here to help. So I'm gonna stop talking now and teach. Okay, so you begin with artificial, no, it's not artificial, artificial is this. Natural harmonics on 12. It's E minor again. So after you're done with the second melody line, you do this. Okay, it's just natural harmonics on 12. You pick the 6th string, then strings 1, 2, and 3. Now, this. Okay, 12, 15, 12 on the E string, 13 on the B string. 14 would make it A major. This is A minor, so okay, it's 12, 15, 12 on the E string, 13 on the B string with the A bass. Okay, along with the first E note, with the first 12. And then, okay, it's the D bass along with 10 on the B string, and then on the B string 12, 13, 14, chromatic movement, and then G string along with 10 on the E string, and the arpeggio is this. It's 10, 14 with your pinky, 10, 14, 10, and then 12 on the B string. Then, I forgot something. You harmonize when you play the D. Let's go back. You've got A minor, and then you get this. You don't have to harmonize, but you can. So if you want, you put 11 on the G string and 10 on the B string, and you just harmonize the D chord. Okay, because this is D. So you can do that. And then continue with the chromatic movement. Okay? And then the G. Now E minor. Harmonized. It's 8 on the B string along with the E bass, and if you want to harmonize, you add 9 on the D string. Okay, to make it an E minor chord sound instead of just a melody and the bass. But it's good either way. Or then it's a chromatic movement again. It's 10, 11, 12 on the B string. And then A minor again, this time a different arpeggio. It's 8, 12, 8 on the E string, 10 on the B string. And then this. I knew I wouldn't make it. Because it's really confusing to play slowly, especially when it comes to chromatics. D along with 11 on the G string, and then 12 on the G string. Okay, so it's 11, 12 on the G string. And then 10, 11 on the B string. So it's, and then 12 on the B string with the G string open. Okay, and then this. Another chromatic movement, 11, 12, 13 on the B string, and then 15. So it's 11, 12, 13, 15. So, got it? And then you play D bass, 15 on the B string again. So it sounds like this. And then again, A minor, D, G, E. I'm not harmonizing on purpose so you can hear the melody. A, and this time a different ending. The different ending is this. Okay? It's the same beginning of the ending. It's 11, 12 on the G string with the D bass. But this time it's 10 and 8 on the E string. So it's then you put on a B chord, a B major chord, and you do this. You play both E strings on 7, and you play strings A, D, and G, and then the bass and A, D, and G again. Okay? And then you turn it into B minor 7 again. You take the second finger and the pinky off, and you play this again. Okay, you play the bass and strings A, D, and G, and you're back to the beginning. Okay, you just begin with this. Remember that? Picking the E minor as an end to a melody. Both E strings, rest of the chord, strings 2 and 3, and then the chord again. Okay, so the ending. Back to the top. Slowly, let's play the B part. There's a C part ahead. We're not done, but the C part, relative to this, is the easiest thing you've ever played. So, B part. Let's harmonize this time. Following? Again. Getting so confusing. Okay, now you can play the melody in the B part again, or just go to the C part. Okay, the C part is just bass notes and thirds. By thirds, I mean this. Okay, it's just thirds, major thirds, minor thirds. So 3 and 5 on the E string and B string respectively. 3 on the E string, 5 on the B string. And you play this. Okay, you just pick the E bass and pick 3 and 5. And then you move them up to 5 and 7 and add this. Add the B bass. 7 on the E string. And then you do this. And then 7 and 8 on the E and B strings. And again with the E bass. Twice. Then the same thing, 5 and 7 with the B bass. This, by the way, is B minor 7. It's not. If you add the major note, it's a major 7. It's not a major 7. It's a 7. A major 7 would be this, but in this, if you add the minor note, it's minor 7. This is a voice thing, but contextually, the ear up till now is already familiar with the fact that it's a B minor 7 throughout the piece. So when you play this, the ear hears a B minor 7 chord. This is actually B5 7 because it's without the third note of the chord. Just want to make sure you know what you're playing because that's my job. I'm here to teach and that's knowledge. So okay, got it? 3 and 5, 5 and 7, 7 and 8, 5 and 7. Okay, so 3, 5, 5, 7, 7, 8, 5, 7. And then it's back to 3 and 5, but this time you bar the 3rd fret and you play a C bass. Okay, making it a C major chord. Then it's 2 and 3 with the B bass, making it a B minor chord. Okay, it's 2 and 3 with the B bass. You bar the 2nd fret. And then A minor. Okay, it's just 0 on the E string, 1 on the B string with the A bass. And then G. It's 3 on the B string and an open G string this time, along with the G bass. Okay, so it's G5 because there's no major or minor note here. Okay, it's just G and D, the G and D notes, it's this. Okay, it's a 5 chord, it's a power chord. So from the top, 3 and 5, B minor 7, 5 and 7, E minor again, 7 and 8, it's E minor, it's these notes. This is, by the way, E minor as well, because D minor shaped, you take D minor up and you've got E minor. Okay, so this is E minor. So then C, B minor, 3 and 5, 2 and 3, A minor, 0 and 1, G5, and then F sharp, sus4. Remember I told you about the F sharp? Here it is. Okay, it's the F sharp bass. You bar the second fret, pinky and 3rd finger on 4 and 4 on the G and D, the 3rd and 4th strings, and you pick this.